I'm here. Why am I going live? Good question. Because I know it's getting close to the end of the year. I know that it is close to evaluation time, and I know some of you guys have questions. So I'm here. I tried to advertise a little bit, but as of right now, I see like 0 people on. So hopefully I'll just jump on here and kind of share with you my plans for, I'm going to be doing lives. My goal is actually to try and do lives every Tuesday night around this time, 9:30, until we get to the summer. Because I know there's a lot of questions with evaluations, with Florida specific laws. I know there's questions about co-ops, about homeschool curriculum. I know there's questions about teaching kids with disabilities. So I'm going to be doing these lives just to make myself available to you if you have questions. Excuse me, I still have a cough from that lovely thing called the flu that I had. So please, like I'm seeing more people jump on. If you guys just have any questions, I honestly did not have anything planned to share with you except just get on here and say, hey, I'm available for questions if anybody has them. So feel free to leave any comments. There is a live chat. I know this is the new, by the way, this is the new YouTube vertical lives, and hopefully they say that they're sending it out to more people whenever I do these, so we'll see if that actually happens. So I guess I don't know what I should talk about. I'm just gonna like ramble until you guys have a question. I'm trying to aim to be off of this at 10 o'clock, but if you are watching this as kind of like a replay, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. So like the next time round, let me think. Some questions that you guys do tend to have is the evaluation process in the state of Florida. So I'll just jump on here because that is a big question that a lot of you guys have and a lot of worries. So if you guys are, I'm strictly going to talk Florida, but like I said, if you're not a Floridian, jump in here, ask a question. But in the state of Florida, what's been happening is we actually keep your eyes on Florida. I always say that, just like watch Florida, because people are watching what Ron DeSantis is doing, and he's doing some pretty bold stuff. We have a couple scholarships in the state of Florida, one for specific with homeschool. And one is called the Unique Abilities, and the other one is called the PEP scholarship. And Unique Abilities, you have to have a disability to qualify for that one, but they will give you around, I want to say some people are getting 8,000, some people are getting 9,000. I think there's some rubric. I don't really know the back why some people are getting different prices. There's a lot of speculation why, but I really honestly don't know. I have my opinion, but I don't know. But so that's Unique Abilities, and there are more opportunities to do more things with Unique Abilities, like get reimbursed for different things. The PEP is more for just anyone really who's willing to take the money. There is a 400% poverty level. Last I heard, it could change. It is still something that's fairly new, and because it's so new, there's a lot of kinks that they're working through, a lot of things that they have to iron out, a lot of vocabulary that has to be spoken and defined. And it's because of that, there still seems to be some confusion. And so what I always say, if you really, really, really want to understand the PEP scholarship, you need to go over to HEF, which is Home Education Foundation. They have a Facebook page and they have a live stream every Monday. And that's actually where I get all of my most of my information from that live stream that's being played on Mondays. So you guys that are jumping on, because I'm seeing numbers going up and down, leave comments, because I'm going to start doing this every if I get people on here, like I'm going to do this every Tuesday night, and I'm making myself 100% available to your questions and concerns, because I know when I do consultations and portfolios, that costs money. I'm free right now. So feel free to leave those comments. So 9:30 every Tuesday. So anyway, back a little bit to the PEP scholarship. There is actually some confusion that I do want to clarify, because I'm still hearing it, even though some people have kind of nipped it in the bud here and there, especially through some of these other Facebook groups and such. But one of the confusing things that I hear is PEP is not homeschooling, and I don't know if you guys have heard that too. So just to try to clarify a little bit about that. So in the state of Florida, homeschooling, we are an attendance-based state. And, I know some states you have to take attendance. It's not that. What it means is there's rosters for different programs. And so there's, the homeschool, there's the private school, and I have a question. Okay, I'll try to wrap this up. So there's different categories, and PEP is just in their own little category. So even though you have to unenroll as a homeschooler and then enroll into the PEP program, doesn't mean that you're not homeschooling anymore. You're like a PEP program, which is functioning as a homeschooler. So that's kind of a little bit, I just want to clarify that. So now I'm getting questions. All right, so there was some stuff that delayed unique abilities for us. Okay, but we got a couple months ago, and it has been so fantastic to order curriculum and some items I've wanted to utilize with our son. Yeah, there's some delays going on, definitely, but I'm glad you're able to get it, because I know for us it's been a huge blessing. Especially, I have two of my kids on the unique abilities right now. One of which I don't really talk about on my channel, but because they have asked me not to. But it's an amazing scholarship, and to be honest, PEP is doing really well right now. I will say, like I said, there is some stuff that is being ironed out. So even though it looks a certain way right now, as it moves through changes and defining terms is the big one, things are going to start to slightly shift. And so that's why I say, go to HEF and watch their Facebook lives, because that's the best way to get the most current and up-to-date information. And it's also really good to go look at some of the past stuff. One of the things that I'm also hearing a lot about is testing. And testing is becoming a question a lot lately when it comes to those that are on the PEP. So you don't have to test with unique abilities. It is optional, because it still falls under the homeschool laws in the state of Florida. The homeschool laws in the state of Florida just basically say there's one of 4 ways that you have to meet the requirements as a homeschool, and that's defined as that specific program. Those laws do not apply to the PEP law, even though, and I'll say it again, PEP functions like homeschooling right now. It does. The only difference is that they're giving you money, and that's it. That's really it. And you have to take a nationally normed test, and you don't have to do a portfolio evaluation. But in the homeschool laws in the state of Florida, you do have to do a portfolio evaluation, and that happens. Well, you have to do, I'm sorry, I said that totally wrong. You have to keep a portfolio regardless of which of the 4 choices that you choose. And you have to maintain that portfolio for 2 years, then you can dump it. So you have a choice of the 4 things. One is standardized testing, nationally normed, and you can pick how, all the things, but you would have to submit your scores to the state district. Or you could, one of the testing, the second one is testing in the actual school with their public school with their test, which is similar to the other one. And then you can have a psychiatrist do your evaluation, or you could have a certified teacher do your homeschool evaluation, which is the portfolio evaluation. The majority of the people do the portfolio evaluation. I do know, because you have to keep a portfolio anyway, I do know a lot of parents that want to do testing, and they will do testing, keep their scores private, and use it as part of their portfolio evaluation. So, yeah, and a lot of us do want to keep our test scores private. That also leads me over to PEP, because PEP requirement, if you want to renew, then you have to take a nationally normed standardized test, and there's a list that you have to pull from. And that list, you can find it on their website. the deadline this year, and I found this out yesterday, actually, July 31st. You have to have the test done by July 31st. And if those of you that are on the PEP, you're probably familiar with the Emma system. You have to, you're going to have to report those scores through Emma by July 31st. Emma system does not have a button or does not have a tab yet for the scores. So if you go on there right now and start looking for them, you're not going to find anything. It's not there yet, but it is coming. And I know a lot of you are also asking about the renewal process for PEP and for unique abilities. It's coming. I know they sent us like a ton of emails letting us know that it's on the way. So it is coming. And back to the test. Okay, here's how it's stated. If the test, the actual the actual test itself says that parents can proctor or administer the test, the PEP is saying that's fine. Then the parents can administer the test. That's been a big question. There are very few tests that you can do that. And I don't know all of them off the top of my head. I love the random question, by the way. I'm going to get to it once I finish this one. MAP, but I also know STAR. It's $75. You can find it through Something Ridge Academy. I forgot the name. Can't remember the name. Oh, no. It's like Something Ridge Academy. You could probably just go onto Google and put Ridge Academy Florida PEP testing STAR and Google that. It'll come up, and it's Something Ridge. I can't think of the name. It's online. All you have to do is pay for it, and it's online, and you will be able to administer it online at home. And then that way you will be able to get the qualifications for PEP and get those test scores and submit them. You can also find a certified teacher. I know that I am doing it twice in the next month. It's already booked up. I don't have any more spots open for you guys. Sorry. There's a part of me that wants to open up another date, but I got to see how smooth this process goes. But I am administering the Iowa Form E, and we're going to be able to turn those test scores into the PEP. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the quote, the yay. I'm so excited. I'm so sorry for this cough. Okay, so Debbie says, I enjoy using an evaluator each year for us to meet Florida standards. So I haven't used the testing, but I have wondered about using testing to teach my older one how to test, which would be good. I mean, you could do that. Okay. I think it's important to teach your kids how to test, like the process of testing, but it shouldn't be, I mean, you can do that just by giving them tests academically, but when it comes to the SATs, I think it's important to use an SAT prep to train for that. That's a totally different topic. I mean, I guess it really depends on the kid. I mean, I guess you could give them a standardized test so they could go through the process. I don't know. It just really depends on how you guys want to do it and just not report the test scores. You can do that. I guess it just depends. It really just depends on what you want to do. I think the first time taking a standardized test, though, when it really, really does count, is stressful. So doing the practice run might be good. I know we've done it a few times with my kids, and the reason I do it is, one, I'm curious, and two, well, this year we have to do it for two of my kids, but the same reason, I want them to practice and experience it. So I guess I'm kind of on the same page. So I hope that helps. Kiki says, super random question. Do you know any literature-based Christian preschool programs that are not reformed? They all seem to be reformed, which makes it difficult with our specific Christian views. For preschool, they're all, like, I would think preschool I always see things that aren't reformed. That's funny. But preschool, I feel like with preschool, it's so subtle, like it's laying such a basic foundation. I don't know if it would really preschool. With Naomi, I've been writing my own, which I have available for you guys for free on Teacher Pay Teacher. But I'm trying to, I know Apology is reformed, but they're not preschool. Is Not Consumed Ministries? I've, see, and I'm literally looking at it, but it's preschool literature based. Not Consumed is reformed. See, I didn't know that, but I didn't pick up on that, I guess. Huh. Good to know. Is now I'm all like curious. Is this like is there more reformed curriculum out there? I don't know. I guess I don't know. Yeah, it's okay to stump me because now I'm curious. I'm very curious. And like you're seeing me like verbally process everything out loud. Is this so have you looked at Sunlight? Because that's literature based. And the question is, do they even have a preschool curriculum? Because Sunlight and the one person I know, actually the one person I know that uses it is reformed. The other one isn't. I just thought of another person that's using it and she's not reformed. Is My Father's World is not literature based? I don't know. There's My Father's World, which is amazing, but I don't think that's preschool. I think that starts with like first grade. What's another one that is, nope, I bet you that Generations is probably reformed now that I think about it. I know Apologia is. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Look at Sunlight and find out if it's reformed. Abeka's not literature based, but that one's intense. You can always go with Good and the Beautiful. I don't even know. Like I'm live now. Can I even? I won't even say anything. I'm just gonna stop right there. Okay. I'm pretty sure Good and the Beautiful is not reformed. But they're also I hope you're laughing at my okay, so Sunlight, yeah, Sunlight, check Sunlight. I hear only good things about Sunlight. I'll hear a lot of good things about it. It's very literature based. So, okay. I have to be careful. And I'm finding that out. Like I say things, look, like I gotta be careful. I say things and there's things that I've said like 5 years ago that on YouTube and it's haunting me now. And it's funny too because I have to go back and I go, you know what? I still stand by what I said, but it might have not been the best idea to say it. And so I have to be careful. Like I want at least to say that for someone who starts into homeschool brand new and doesn't know what they're doing and their friend is using the Good and the Beautiful and they just want to try it for a year just to get going, I would be like, go for it. Because I will say it's very, when I'm looking at the technical side of things, the Good and the Beautiful is very, very well done. Oh, the Heart of Dakota. That's a really good suggestion. I forgot about that one. And you know, it's funny, I just did an evaluation where they used that one and they really, really liked it. And we don't always, yeah, that might be a good one. I was actually really impressed with it. When she was showing me her portfolio with Heart of Dakota, I was like, ooh, that's really good. Very impressed. So yeah, check that one. I'm trying to think of another one. You guys can jump in with suggestions. Heart of Dakota. Okay, so yes, I bought Heart of Dakota. It's reformed. What's There's so much. I had no idea. I don't go around asking these guys, hey, are you reformed or are you not? Like, I'm never like, I mean, that's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, you could always not use the reform stuff. Oh, you can be difficult. That's the best thing thing to do. Yeah, spoke to the authors. That's okay. I'm learning so much right now about curriculum. Generations are they reformed? I'm guessing they are, just based because they have Jason, Dr. Lyle, and I know he's reformed. But I don't know if his logic, I've taught his logic book, and it's not, there is some, yeah. Okay. Next question. I'm like, when I go to the convention this year, I think I'm gonna like turn my radar on and just find out what the different backgrounds between, that's, okay. So I agree with you. I'm accepting to just have to tweak things as we go. Yeah, generations is reformed. Okay, so answers in Genesis. Okay, that I know. I saw Ken Ham, and he had an interview where somebody said, "Are you reformed?" And he said, "I'm not reformed, and I'm not Arminian." That's what he said. That's what he verbally said on this interview. So, Master Books is interesting because, I'm sorry, I'm actually, hi Jasmine. Oh yeah. I remember that. Sorry, I should read these out loud instead of read them internally. So, okay, so Ken Ham, okay, yeah, Master Books, that's, okay, oh, Independent Baptist Church. I don't know what is Southern Baptist is not Reformed, and then Reformed Baptist is Reformed. What is Independent Baptist? I don't know. I have not heard of that. I'm learning so much right now. This is awesome. I should have my husband in here because my husband knows all this stuff. So unlike me, he was raised in the church. I wasn't. So I will say, oh, what does reformed mean? It's okay. Well, hello, welcome to the live stream when we're talking about homeschool stuff, and now we're talking about reformed. So, so you guys like jump in there and chime in. My understanding of reformed is the once saved. There's like a list. Oh, it's the tulip, and I don't have those memorized. But I know it's once saved, always saved. It's God is in control. It's John Calvin's views, but I know that a lot of people don't want to say I'm Calvinist because of whatever reasons. But they like the term reformed. I think Calvinism saying that like puts up a red flag sometimes for some people, and it just shuts them out, and they don't they just shut the people out. So, and it causes division. So that's what I've heard. So once saved, always saved, tulip. My husband's the like theology nerd. I should bring him in here. He'll like lay it out. Oh, would that be weird if I just like opened my door and said, "Eric, come here"? He's right next door. He's gonna be like, "What?" But he knows this stuff because he's Mr. Theology. That would be cool if I went next door. I don't know if he's gonna. He's in the room next to me. Call my husband. Have I ever played Gorilla Tag? That's so random. I have. And I put my son's headset on, and I didn't expect it, and I screamed because I was like, "Why are these people talking to me?" It was really funny. And so that's my experience with Gorilla Tag. But my kids aren't on their headset. I don't think they've touched their Oculus for at least over a month. I don't know why. Okay, nutshell Calvinism. The closest I came to that was reading Jane Eyre. Where's my husband? Did he like walk out the door? Eric. He's on the other side of the wall. This is how I do my nights. We put the kids to bed. He's in this room, and then I'm in this room, and we're constantly talking to each other. Okay, how old are my kids? Isaac is 14. Is he 14? Yeah, he's 14. Ethan is 12. Hannah is 10. Naomi is 7, and she's in first grade. She's the one with Down syndrome. He's not in his room. He probably went downstairs. Okay, I'll keep knocking. He knows this stuff. Anyway, Okay, there was some other questions that you guys had. So yeah, but my 14-year-old does not. Like I said, we have not touched Oculus. My kids we're on a screen fast and electronic fast right now. That might be kind of permanent. And all phones are taken away. So, but we are just enjoying ourselves as a family. And that's what we're doing right now. We really like that. So, okay, I'm trying to catch up with y'all's reading. I don't hear my husband anyway. So, I forgot. Okay, Calvinism, once saved, always saved. That God chooses you, where Arminian is where you make the choice. I'm curious because what are you describing as Reformed describes the First Baptist Church in the Midwest. Okay, now I'm just gonna, it won't take that long because I'm just gonna like open the door and like ask him where he is. Eric, are you up here? Eric? Okay, can you come in here? I'm doing a live stream and they're asking me what Reformed is. So can you come here? Okay, I'm in here. Just walk in. He's downstairs. But he's coming. And he'll lay it out because he's Mr. Theology. He's walking in. So I'm on a live, yeah, come here. I'm on a live stream. So you don't have to like get in front of the camera. But they're asking me how to define Reformed.
Reformed?
Yes.
Well, it has to do with the Reformers. The Catholic Church Reformed. Usually has to do with Calvinism and Doctrines of Grace.
Can you hear him? You have to be louder.
Reformers, like John Calvin, Martin Luther, Zwingli, the Reformers.
Right.
Those who are still against the Catholic Church.
Okay.
So they usually have to do.
They're saying speak louder.
Usually have to do with Calvinism, and.
But define it.
Define what? Calvinism?
What is Reform? I guess the tulip.
The tulip, right? Total depravity, unconditional election, irresistible grace, limited atonement, perseverance of the saints.
Did you hear him? Oh, you can hear. Okay.
Usually, the Presbyterians are more Reformed. Reformed Baptists, obviously, are Reformed.
If once saved, always saved, right? Is that Reformed?
Yeah, perseverance of the saints.
That's perseverance of the saints.
Yeah, once saved, always saved is I'm trying to think of a nice way to put it.
Well, you better be nice because I got 43 people on here.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's just kind of almost a twisted way of looking at the Reformed perspective, but yeah. So perseverance of the saints. In other words, the saints will persevere to the end. The idea. So not just like you could get your ticket punched and do whatever you want. That's kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean by that.
Okay. I don't know if that made sense. They're all saying thank you.
Yeah. So Presbyterians are going to be Reformed.
I don't know if Charlotte Mason is Reformed. I'm learning from these wonderful people that a lot of homeschool curriculum that is out there is Reformed.
Yeah, like Apologia.
We all know the Apologia. Mm-hmm. And then Generations is Reformed. Heart of Dakota is Reformed. Like, we're learning all of this.
Jason Lyle.
That's, yeah, Dr. Lyle, yeah, which we call him Jason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
they're all Reformed.
Yeah. Well, presuppositional apologetics is Reformed, right?
Presupposition. Do you guys know presuppositional? That stuff's actually really... Yeah. But see, but would you say presuppositional apologetics would be good for somebody who is not Reformed to learn?
Yes, it would. And they'll eventually become Reformed. No.
Stop it. Stop it. They're going to it's going to drop from oh, see, I already lost 10 people. Oh. See, thank you, honey. No, he's joking. I promise.
Yes.
No,
I'm joking. Yes.
But no, presuppositional apologetics is defending the faith. Right. But I think that people could, but apologetics in general is defending the faith.
Yeah, there's different types of apologetics.
Right. Presuppositions just saying that your presuppositions don't change. Right?
Well, you're evaluating somebody's presuppositions. So
you're evaluating someone else's presuppositions.
Yeah, so you're attacking the presuppositions rather than the looking at the foundations of the worldview.
Abeka is not Reformed.
Yeah, I'm not.
You knew that?
No, I said I'm not familiar with Abeka. That's what I said. I don't know. I don't know if that's I don't know if Becca's ever.
What about BJU?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm asking my husband curriculum questions. I wonder what BJU is. And then Christian Liberty Press. They've got to be reformed.
Yeah, it sounds like they do. It sounds like they do.
Just by the title.
Yeah, but I don't know. But yeah.
Oh, they love Naomi, but they hear your husband. They in all listening with me because they love you and Naomi, but they hear your husband. Sorry. You never hear my husband. He doesn't. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Well, like show your face.
No.
Nope. So you might have to go dig in for that. Passover 101. I got him to talk on that one. But that one is really, I almost want to redo that video.
Oh.
Because I had to, you're so soft-spoken in front of the camera.
I don't remember that one, actually.
I don't think Abeka was reformed because they do it, that curriculum, in Catholic schools, really. Do you use any secular curriculum at all?
Math.
Stop it.
Just kidding.
I'm sorry. See, now you got to hear the banter with me and my husband.
Math is not secular.
What is the one that's secular? It's, I can't think of the one that's secular. I have used, IEW can be secular because they don't really, unless you used All About Reading, All About Spelling is secular. They're awesome curriculum. So Happy to Learn is secular. See, I got it right here. This is for special needs. I think we're moving beyond the, did you say what reformed is? Are we done?
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done. You're going to go do your thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he works his job, I work my job, and okay, I guess you're shutting the door. He's shutting the door. All About Reading, teaching textbooks is second. Y'all are listed, just go. This is really good if you have a child that has Down syndrome or even autism. Sorry about my cough. I hate this flu. This flu knocked me out, y'all. Okay. I don't think, my kids aren't public schooled. I was a public school teacher for 10 years. And then I went to private school for 2 years. And I resigned and became homeschool mom. And I refused to send my kids to public school. Even though I have looked outside when that bus passes by and I go, just for a day. I'm joking. Is So Happy to Learn full, it's supposed to be for those with Down syndrome. And you can make it a full curriculum. This is what it looks like. I just printed this out for Naomi. And the thing is, though, what's funny, it's secular, but, and there's some things in there that she talks about yoga. And I'm not a fan of doing yoga stuff, but I'm doing the letter E, and I did not plan doing it for Easter or whatever. I was just, I need to do some, she needs to work on her letter E, because we're struggling with that. And it's all about eggs and Easter eggs. Okay, we're a little behind, but we don't even do, I guess, like it says, I see 3 Easter eggs. But it's supposed to be a full curriculum, but you kind of have to learn her method. And there is definitely a learning curve to it, but she has all the resources there. But it's really good for like Down syndrome. It's like really specific for Down syndrome. But I do know a lot of kids that have intellectual disabilities, intellectual disabilities that are severe, and autism. But like those that are lower on the spectrum for autism. Okay, there's so many. I love this. Okay. Love the Passover video. You saw the Passover. It's so, okay, I gotta redo that one because he's so boring and he's not here. I can say this. I was on there interviewing him and he's so low. When I edited it, I had to keep messing with the volumes. And I'm like, honey, you can be louder. And he's like, I don't know. Anyway, why do we homeschool? Is that like a general question for everyone? Because we could just write a book right here. Why do you homeschool? Thanks. What is a good okay, so I feel like I'm gonna throw that why do you homeschool out there for some of you guys to comment, and then I'll say why I homeschool. I mean, mine's easy. Because I would never send my kids to the public school. I don't agree with their worldview. I also don't agree with their methodologies. Some of it I do. Like there's some things I do glean from the public school, like some of it, but it's mostly the worldview, and because it's just kids aren't really like they're not the teachers don't have time to really pay attention to the kid. Also, I feel like it's my responsibility as a parent to homeschool my kids, and I really like to. And I know, like for example, the other day, yesterday, I was literally talking to someone at the YMCA, and somebody I was going to stay for another class. I was going to do spin, and I was like, no, I got it. I wanted to leave because I wanted to work with Naomi because I actually enjoy homeschooling my kids. So, and I sat in my van, and I homeschooled her for an hour. Um, yes, she does swimming and dancing. Okay, what is a good recommendation for third grade language arts curriculum moving into? Currently moving into All About Reading 3, and started All About Spelling, Learning Without Tears handwriting. Is that enough? For language arts, you got to get some reading. I mean, that's just my thoughts. These are opinions. I always have to stress because as an evaluator, I can't. But my opinions, we got to get some reading. And All About Reading, if that's at his level, do some read alouds, because All About Reading it's basic reading. It's Orton Gillingham. It's going to help those kids that do have dyslexia, or if they're having some struggles within, it's taking them a while to catch on with reading, and it will really help with that. But then if that's his level, do read alouds so you can get some of that language comprehension in there. And you can do like the Charlotte Mason technique where you read and then you have them retell it back to you, which can be kind of tedious and really annoying. You can have a book where you read a paragraph, tell me what I just read, and they tell you back, and then you read a paragraph and tell me what I just read, and they tell it back. You can have a book to do that with, and then you can have the fun read aloud where you don't have them tell it back, where they just listen. You can do both. You can also do audiobooks and listen together. But I would add some kind of comprehension and narration where they tell things back. That's what I would add to that mix. All About Reading, All About Spelling. But I would say I make sure that All About Reading is at his level, because if it's not, like if he can read, because remember it's for kids that have dyslexia or slower with their reading ability, you want to be at his level, and you want to you might want to do something that's a little more challenging if that's the case. But I don't know your situation, so I don't know. I guess you kind of have to decide, but I would definitely for sure read alouds or reading comprehension of some kind. Yeah. Does Naomi still like swimming and dance? Yep. Is it called All You See? They're so happy to learn. We talked about, and I don't know what All You See is. And then All About Spelling. All right, you're asking some interesting questions. I do not watch sports. He isn't boring. It's what convinced my husband to actually listen, because yours. Thank you. I will let him know. You will appreciate that. He does have a YouTube channel. I will say that. He, so, plugging my husband, he's going to be like, stop knocking. I think it's under Eric Melendez. I think that's his YouTube channel. But he is in charge at our congregation. He's in charge of all the Bible studies. And he puts all his Bible studies up on YouTube. They're really long, though. Really long. And they're really deep. So there's that. He doesn't talk. Does he talk about? He might talk about Passover somewhere. But I'm glad. I'm glad that helped. But I still want to redo it. Totally off the subject. What do you do when you have an ADHD dyslexic child and the church you go to loves the public school and they think that school is basically the cure? I banged my head against the wall a few times. And I say internally, I go, that's nice that you believe that. I'm going to prove you wrong. Oh no, I have low battery. I have 20%, so I can't stay on too long. But that's my stubbornness. public school is not the cure for ADHD, I would ignore them. I just ignore them. Is it like somebody in charge of, because you don't have to defend yourself. Like you don't have to, like, I mean, me, I'm stubborn because I would, once I say I used to be a teacher, people usually shush. Um, or they're like, well, I'm a teacher too. And then be like, oh, nice. So what do you think of the public school system? No, anyway. But I mean, I would just ignore them. I would just ignore them unless it's someone. That's hard. I would ignore them. And then if it becomes too much of a conflict of interest, maybe talk to somebody. Like maybe, try to work it out and say, listen, Matthew 18, go to that person and say, hey, we homeschool because we've made these decisions. And it really bothers me that you think you know what's best for my child. Like I would talk to the person, like go to them. And yeah. Sorry. I'm going to apologize every time I cough. I didn't bring my water upstairs. Okay. I had no idea that you have your own pre-curriculum. Can you tell me more about it? I don't know how I missed your video. I had put so many videos up and then I feel like I'm overselling it, but I'm not even selling it. I'm going to sell it when I go to the homeschool convention this summer because I do have a booth at the special needs convention with Terry. Her last name just went out, McGee. She's doing a homeschool convention and I'm like, look at me, I'm like, there's this keynote speaker, Temple. I don't know the last name. She has autism and she has a huge voice in the autism community, and that's the keynote speaker. I do have that on my Facebook page. It's pinned at the top of my Facebook page. If you're interested in that convention, it's in North Carolina. It's in June. I believe it's June 27th, 28th. But preschool is on Teacher Pay Teacher under Leilani Melendez, Livingwitheve, and you can get it for free. Just download it. Eventually, I'm going to compile, because I'm doing all the months, and I'm doing them from a biblical perspective. And I know I'm saying it's preschool. I almost think that it's like more first. It's a supplement. It's not a full curriculum. It's just a supplement. It's stuff that I put together for Naomi because I felt like these are great, these happy sheets, and all about, because the happy sheets are what's amazing. The happy sheets, they have little books that they make, but the happy sheets are, I mean, they're like this. And that's kind of what I did. But when I put it together, I put it from a biblical perspective because I was sick and tired of this being very secular. And I think it hit me during December. That's when I first wrote one. And I did it because I have such a passion to see unity in the body of Messiah, especially with like I was not raised in the church. I was saved in a Messianic congregation. So a lot of my background and my cultural comes from that Messianic Jewish perspective. And so when and see, I wasn't Jewish either. So, I mean, I went to church 2 times a year. I don't know. See, that's why I say I wasn't raised in the church. So, whenever I do Passover or whenever I do Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah, a Jewish person would see them as very like, by works, you have to do, cross all the T's, dot all the I's, do all the laws, do all the things. I don't see it that way. I see it as, wow, it really highlights who Messiah is. And these are really beautiful holidays. And I see them through that kind of lens. And I don't even know where I was going with this. But yeah, I was talking about my sheets, my curriculum. When Christmas hits and that holiday hits, I want to, and also when we're getting to Easter Passover, which is interesting because this is one of every couple of years, 7 years, they don't coincide. Usually Easter and Passover will fall in the same week. This year it didn't. But it bothers me that there's such a separation between Messianic Judaism and the Christian church. And I understand, I also think there needs to be a definition of what is scriptural and what is cultural. And I think there's beauty in our differences as long as the culture doesn't go against scripture. I don't really have a problem with it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is when I wrote the curriculum is I tried to incorporate things that were cultural about Christmas, but also cultural about Messianic Judaism. That's what I was trying to do. Trying to bring them together into one curriculum. The other thing I'm finding out too, just from being on YouTube, is that there are so many people that are interested in Messianic Judaism that go to the church. So my husband actually has taught Passover Seders or led Passover Seders at churches. And my husband was raised in the church, and he just sees Messiah throughout Passover and even Hanukkah. Like Hanukkah is not a biblical holiday, but there's so much about Messiah through all of it. And I think a lot of parents want to teach their kids about some of those high holidays through a Messiah, Jesus like Messianic like worldview, biblical worldview, to see, because it's like one of those kinesthetic things, like when you do it and you experience it, there's so much richness and a deeper understanding once you're doing it. And I'm very kinesthetic. So going and walking through Passover and thinking, okay, you know, before Jesus was taken and put on the cross, he was having a Passover Seder with his disciples. They were Jewish. They celebrated Passover. Might not look like the Passover that modern day Jews do, but they were celebrating Passover. And when he was dipping in, or not, when he was breaking bread, it was unleavened, and that's matzah. And then there's like a thing, y'all are writing, I'm not paying attention, but there was a thing where you break the matzah and you wrap one in a white cloth and you hide it. That's part of the Passover Seder. And then the kids find it. I mean, it's so Easter, like it's so Resurrection Sunday. I don't even know how, but anyway, I'm rambling because we're right in the middle of that. So that's why I started writing them. And so a lot of the curriculum, if it says Jesus, I'll do a second sheet that duplicates, and I'll use Yeshua, because Yeshua is the Jewish, the Hebrew term for word for, it's like saying Jesus in Spanish. So I just use both. A lot of Messianic Jews will get really hung up on the Jesus and Yeshua. And there's a lot of reason people get hung up on those terms. And I know one of them is one of my friends. She has said that it has to do with Jesus was used, that word was used during the Holocaust, and a lot of them just shut that down when you say Jesus. But if you say Yeshua using their language, they're more open to it. And there's not any of that baggage that comes along with the term. So that was one reasoning I heard. But anyway, I use both in the curriculum. Okay, so I'm going to keep going because I'm struggling with how much is expected of special needs to learn every year. What if you have a child that is struggling to do worksheets? Do you go to a therapist? Do you take them to therapy? If so, the therapist would be a great person to pick their brain, like an OT or PT or speech therapist, to see, okay, what else can I do to help them? Worksheets are really difficult. You don't have to do worksheets. You can play games all day if you want to. But I do know with writing, it's really good to build that upper body strength and just continue, even if you do hand over hand for a while. If you do it every day, eventually they'll realize there's a routine there. We're going to do this every day. You just keep trying. They may pick it up. They may or play more games. Play-Doh is really good to also work some of that fine motor skills in the hands. But you do want to get some of those upper body strengths to build a lot of that posture. And some of that, yes, Play-Doh, but like you could do sticker books. Whiteboards are really fun for kids. Even when you, like all about Handwriting Without Tears has a preschool program. It's Learning Without Tears, but you will get chalkboards and write with chalk, but they also have wipies, like a sponge that you erase the chalkboard with, and then you get something else to wipe it down and dry it before you do it again. So that process of erasing, okay, like you could even get a whiteboard, right, and do the marker, and then have them trace over it while erasing it. Does that make sense? I'm going so fast. I'm thinking so fast. So they write the letter in on the whiteboard and then they erase it with their finger. Or you could do the writing and they could do the erasing. Some kids like that because they're like, ha, I'm getting rid of it. And you're like, yeah, you don't like it? Then get rid of it by doing this. And then it's like reverse psychology and they get the work done and they get the muscles built. And then eventually they'll get better at that. So when it comes to learning every year, you have to go by you just have to feel your kid out. Like, I mean, no standardized test can really help you with that. You can have a therapist that works with them as well, kind of guide you through that. That's why I like having OT. OT is really good at help guiding and speech. So I'm just okay. So I gotta go through this. I got on a tangent about Messianic, and now so I hope that answered your question. British UK English curriculum for language arts. Anything Charlotte Mason based. I don't know of any over there, but simply Charlotte Mason. I don't think they're based British UK, but Charlotte Mason is from England. I think a lot of it does really overlap too. I really don't know. I'm hoping one of you guys might be able to help. Laura Barker, find a different, she's saying Laura Barker, find a different church. I had the same problem. I was better off switching churches. Yeah, I agree and disagree with that, just because I feel like you should try to mend the relationship before you pack your bags up and leave. Because sometimes just talking it out and communicating can kind of clarify or clear up some things. That's just me. Okay, someone I am discipling, his son was asked if he was, okay, he had ADHD. I don't think I understand the question. The curriculum for your daughter you ever played for, right? Okay. I wish I was homeschooled when I was younger. I feel it is especially important for kids with anxiety and depression. Yeah. New pastor, his wife, and youth pastor all work for the school. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Yes, Temple Grandin. I forgot her last name, but she's going to be there. That's hard. That's really hard. I would talk to him. I'm Jewish and you're okay. Christmas is not a biblical holiday, neither is Easter, and that is correct. That is correct. They're not biblical. Passover is Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah. Those are. Hope just got out of bed. Hi, Hope. Sorry. Thoughts on Easy Peasy? They're good. I would just beef up the language arts a little bit, and they're free, which is nice. It is, a lot of people will stick through it. It's a good stepping stone. I have to remember, that's another, side note. I might skip over some of these because I have been told that YouTube, because this is a new format of doing things, they will send it out like to everyone. So that's kind of cool. Hello, ma'am. I'm from Philippines. I love the Philippines. I am finding so much. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just finding out so much about the Philippines lately. That there's a lot of homeschooling. I'm hearing that there's a lot of homeschooling going on over there. So, and my son was diagnosed last March 18th that he had ADHD combined presentations. Okay, so when you say combined presentations, ADHD. So I know ADHD very well. I have ADHD. I feel like sometimes my whole household does, but I don't know what the diagnosis combined presentations mean. But I do know that when I'm working with my children and myself, it's a struggle to keep them on task. You have to keep constantly redirecting them. A timer is really good. So you can say, we are going to sit down and do math for 15 minutes, no distractions. And then you can jump on it depends how old they are. Jump on the trampoline or do some push-ups or run around the house or play with your favorite toy for 5 minutes. So, that's a good book, by the way, Debbie. Oh yeah, okay. Inattentive and hyperactive. Yeah, I was thinking that, but I didn't know for sure. So, what I would do, and feel free, guys, if you want to make comments in there, suggestions, timer, start with 15 minutes. If it's too much, you can do 10 or 5, but we're going to do math for 15 minutes. We're not going to do any distractions. When you're done with this, you can go 5-minute break, but then you're going to have to come right back and we're going to do another 15 minutes. And it does kind of seem tedious, but it's this idea of teaching them how to focus. It's a lot of redirecting. There's a lot of squirrels, and you're gonna, especially me. I mean, I mess up. I get on like tangents, and or I'll get distracted very easily, and then next thing I know, I'm like outside cleaning up trash, and I'm supposed to be homeschooling my kids. But and sometimes that's how they are too. You do, when it comes to focus, sometimes it's really nice to have them be in a room by themselves to focus. However, that can also not be a good thing, because then it's easier for them to get off task. So you kind of have to play around with this. Is it better to be alone? Is it better to be sitting right in front of me? If it's one child, you can have them sit in front of you and you sit in front of them, and you can do some work or do whatever, or I mean, that make yourself available during those 15 minutes. But I think the timer was like the best thing we did, because I feel like eh, with the timer, it was like, oh, and then I was also, if they changed the subject, Mom, I have a question about, nope, it's 15 minutes math. So it helped me redirect it back with them. Um, Now it's just a habit, I think, of the redirection. The hardest thing that I'm facing, I don't know if you have multiple kids, but the hardest thing that I face with multiple kids is that when we're working all together, this one has a random question, this one has, and this one brings up this topic, and it's like this constant, we have to focus. We have to focus. And then somebody gets hyper focused on something, and then this kid it's like, come back. We are doing history right now. Let's focus, or so that's when we do read alouds though, I did find um that the read alouds, I mean, I'll just be honest, I suspect all my kids have ADHD. I'll just throw that out there. I know one does for a fact, but I suspect all of them do. I just haven't gone through the diagnosis. Um, but I won't usually talk about that. But when we did read alouds, it would get them to focus on what was being said, especially if it was a good book. So I feel like read alouds really, really helped us hyper focus and also get our minds, also try to get away from electronics. Yeah. Okay. I hope that helps. She's reading a book. ADHD combined. Got it. My Pentecostal church has a Passover dinner. Yay! That's awesome. Definitely when. Okay, got it. I have 4 with ADHD. I just take them into the room with just me because it eliminates distractions from all the other kids in the house. Oh, wow. I'm combined ADHD, my hyperactivity. I can't stop moving. You don't see my leg going. Supplementary subscription boxes. Okay, subscriptions. I do Tinker Crates. Wait, do I do Tinker Crates anymore? Do we do Tinker Crates? Yes, we do. I like that one. For the boys, especially the one that wants to be an engineer. And then, yeah, we do Artsa. Artsa is, if I would suggest Artsa if you want to use that as just it's such a good way to like just really connect with Israel as a family. Like it's really good. I love Tinker Crate. What else have I done? I keep trying them. Oh, if you want to learn a different language, Talkbox Mom is really good. That's a subscription box, and it's really good. But I also like Homeschool Spanish Academy too. What's another one that I've done? I don't remember anymore, actually. We tried Brave Books. That was a good one. Yeah, but that's a book subscription. Yeah, I think this live will be saved. I think they're automatic. This is really long. I'm at an hour. Okay. Our developmental pediatrician recommended us to undergo through it. Okay, occupational therapy is really good. Like at home, yeah. If you can get it in the morning, see if you can get the person to come out to you. It is hard. It's hard. I'm saving this live. Subscription box for a 7-year-old child who loves learning about the world. There's one. I can't remember the name of that one. But I was not happy with it. I did not. It was like it had like a suitcase, passports. I think it was something, little passports. I didn't like it though. But other people might. I'm picky. That might be good. Okay, so we are coming up. We just hit the hour mark for this live, and I have 12% on my phone. How'd labels. Oh, man. Have you ever gone off focus? See where it goes. Wait. Not to be critical. Why do we accept these labels? Have you ever gone off focus? See where it goes, then bring it right back. All the time. You mean like go off topic and then bring them back? Yeah. It's my life. I'm really good at bringing things back because I think I've learned by default how to do it. But why do we accept labels? I don't know. Because we're human. I think that's why. Because we're human. Okay, that's up to you if you want to do ABA. There's a huge debate. Make sure you do research on ABA. Make sure to do research on ABA because there's a debate. I just talked to Mom when I was doing evaluation today. There's a huge debate, which reminds me, I got to finish some paperwork for them. Eat to Explore. I haven't heard of that one. Do some research on ABA because there is a debate. Some people think it is traumatizing. Other people think it's really good because it's disciplined. So just do your research, see it's your thing. That's all I suggest for ABA. The other option for ABA is just behavioral therapy. So there are no medications with ABA. I didn't know that. I didn't know sunlight. That must be something special. Okay. So I am going to have to go because I did tell myself 1 hour, even though I know I could talk forever. So if I just make a commitment to be 1 hour here at 9:30 every Tuesday, that's going to try. They are saved. They're definitely saved in my phone on the lives. They should be in the lives, shorts, the vertical forms. If you have any questions, I think you can comment here and I'll see them. I need to go through my comments. And I really do need to get this. I just realized I have to get this paperwork done for the evaluations that I did today. So they're waiting very patiently. Hopefully they went to bed and didn't wait on me. So thank you guys so much. Thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and close it out. And I had fun. I know my husband did too. He's going to be like, what was that about? All right. Good night, guys. Have a nice night. Bye.